The movie begins in Sweden in December 2005, where we see a remote, small town in Sweden. We are introduced to a young man named Alex, who is in a church with his girlfriend Anna. Alex is mildly autistic but has an extraordinary love for Anna. At that moment, he is sitting with Anna, and they are playing the piano together, as they both have a passion for music. After a while, Alex sits with his mother Clara and tells her that he wants a Christmas gift, a guitar. Clara agrees to his request, but Alex's father Björn firmly refuses, stating that the guitar is too expensive. It becomes clear that Björn struggles with psychological issues that affect how he interacts with his wife and son. Despite this, Björn's love for his son is evident when he goes to his workshop to craft a guitar for Alex. In the following days, Alex spends his time happily, and on Christmas Day, he calls Anna to tell her that he will visit her before she leaves the town to give her a gift. We learn that Anna does not live in Alex's town, but visits with her mother on certain occasions to spend time with her grandmother. After finishing his conversation with Anna, Alex goes to celebrate Christmas with his family. During the celebration, Clara gifts Björn an electric saw, which makes him happy. However, when Björn goes inside to give his son the handmade guitar, he is shocked to find out that Clara had already bought a guitar for Alex, which enrages him. He feels that his wife has disregarded his opinion. Björn starts yelling at Clara, expressing his anger toward everyone, and then takes both guitars to his workshop and breaks them. As a result, Alex feels sad and goes to his room to sleep. The next morning, Alex wakes up to find his mother Clara in his room, leaving him a letter by his bedside. She silently bids him farewell with her eyes and leaves without saying much. In the letter, she tells him that she had to flee the house because she could no longer live with someone as unstable as Björn. Alex feels saddened by this, but he takes the gift he had prepared and goes to Anna's house to give it to her. The gift is a musical composition that Alex created himself, but he is in a poor mental state due to his father's recurring problems. Alex decides not to visit Anna after all and begins to walk away. However, Anna sees him and comes to talk to him. In that moment, Alex argues with her because of the pressure he's feeling, and he leaves the place angrily. Afterwards, Alex returns to his house and sits with Björn. But in that moment, he decides that he no longer loves his father and chooses to leave the house to live on his own. Björn tries to stop him, but he fails. After what happened, Alex goes to his friend and gets the key to his locked apartment where he plans to live. When he arrives at the apartment, he discovers an old piano and starts practicing on it extensively. Sometime later, we see Alex playing at a very large concert, becoming famous in the city for his performance. He is invited to major events, and it becomes clear that his friend is always helping him organize these concerts. Alex's friend tells him that they have an upcoming concert in Germany, and Alex agrees to go, but he requests a new piano to replace the old one. His friend agrees, and Alex prepares to go with him. Shortly after, Alex hears on the radio about attacks that occurred on a train in Stockholm, where the train was completely destroyed, and no one knows who was behind the attack. Alex remembers that his mother lives in Stockholm and tries to call her, but she doesn't answer. When he returns to his apartment, he receives a call from his uncle Eric, who sadly informs him that his mother was on that train and has passed away. Alex is deeply saddened by the loss of his mother. The next day, he goes to his uncle Eric, who informs him of the time of the memorial service. But Alex feels conflicted as it coincides with his trip to Germany. Alex decides to attend the memorial service and forgets about the concert entirely. Eric then asks Alex to inform Björn about what happened, but Alex refuses as he no longer wants to deal with Björn. Returning to Björn, we see that he still lives in his home alone, saddened by what happened, especially after his wife and son left him. That day, Björn goes to work as usual, where he works at a government factory with two of his friends, Connie and Lasse. During their conversation, Connie and Lasse suspect that a terrorist group is responsible for the bombings in Stockholm, while Björn believes that the Russians are behind the attacks and that they are planning to occupy the country, just like in the past. Björn begins to tighten the factory's security, fully convinced that the Russians are planning something. The next day, he goes to work and notices a strange car parked outside the factory. After confirming that the owner of the car is somewhere in the forest, He asks him to leave. However, Bjorn suspects the person and believes he is a Russian spy, so he hits him on the head and knocks him unconscious. When Bjorn wakes up, he finds himself in front of the factory with no one around. He tries calling the police to report what happened, but they do not take him seriously. He also tries calling Laza and any of his friends, but no one answers, which increases his suspicions. He goes to Laza's house, but he doesn't find him there, prompting him to search for anyone he suspects to be Russian, becoming more convinced that they are among them. Feeling frustrated from his constant search, Bjorn returns to the factory and spends more time there. Meanwhile, we return to Alex, who attends his mother's memorial in the old town. After the memorial, one of his friends takes him to the church, where he discovers Anna. Alex feels happy, as he hasn't seen her in a long time, and they talk and spend a pleasant day together. Alex learns from Anna that she is now living with her grandmother and also finds out that her mother has become a minister in the government. At the end of the day, Anna invites Alex to stay at her grandmother's house for the night, and Alex agrees. The next day, we find that Anna's mother, Eva, is at her home when security forces come to take her to an urgent meeting with the ministers. When she arrives at the meeting place, she finds a large number of ministers and officials. One of the officials speaks, indicating that the country is in crisis and that Russia is spying on them, with the military preparing for war. Eva becomes concerned about the possibility of war and tries to call Anna to warn her. Anna answers the call, but the network is poor and they can barely hear each other. At that moment, Alex wakes up and goes to the kitchen. Before Anna can respond to him, he notices a picture on the fridge showing Anna with a man and a little girl. He asks her about them, and she tells him that the man is her husband Kim and the girl is her daughter Ilin. Alex feels upset about this and leaves the house. As he leaves, Alex reflects on the situation and feels distressed. Suddenly, a truck crashes into his car, but he escapes unharmed. He approaches the truck that hit him and sees someone getting out and heading into the forest without showing any concern. Then, another person, injured and bleeding, emerges from the truck and starts asking about his identity, their location, and what had happened, as if he had lost his memory. Alex feels uneasy about this strange situation and decides to flee the scene. Alex begins to sense that something is wrong in the country, so he decides to go to Anna. At the same time, we return to Eva, who now knows she will meet with the other ministers to resume their duties. However, on the way, she is stopped by a police officer who tells her she cannot proceed down that road due to the heavy rain. Before Eva can respond, a car crashes into the officer's vehicle, triggering a series of collisions, including with her car. What seems like a normal accident becomes strange when the officer tries to push Eva's car toward the sea from the bridge, but fails due to another collision. Eva quickly gets out of her car and takes another vehicle, heading to a safe place. Meanwhile, a group of military officers arrive and arrest Eva. She is taken to a secret military base where there are a number of officers and soldiers, including Kim, Anna's husband. The soldier's commander speaks candidly with Eva, explaining that the country has been subjected to strange biological rains that cause people to lose their memory momentarily, leading to the accidents they have witnessed. The commander also informs her that the forces attacking the country, which are believed to be Russian, are silently occupying the nation without anyone noticing. The evidence of this is that they have taken control of all the military's communication centers, making communication impossible. Eva is shocked by everything that is happening, and being a key figure at the base, she decides to announce this information to the public to warn people about the rain and urge them to take precautions. However, the commander refuses her proposal, fearing that doing so might expose their location to the Russians, which could result in their deaths. At that moment, Kim intervenes and supports Eva, which leads the commander to decide to restrain her by force. Another officer steps in and takes Eva to the broadcast room so they can warn the public. At that moment, the commander steals a gun from the officer accompanying Eva and attempts to shoot Kim but misses and hits another soldier. Kim retaliates by wounding the commander in the leg, forcing him to retreat. Eva broadcasts a warning to everyone about the rain, telling them to avoid it to prevent memory loss. At the same time, Alex arrives at the church where Anna and her grandmother are. Although Alex is unaware of the rain, He senses that something is wrong in the town and wants to escape. He takes Anna and her grandmother, and they flee through the streets of the city, trying to leave. We then return to Björn, Alex's father, who is still at the factory. He senses strange activity in the factory, and when he steps outside to investigate, he discovers that 3 armed men are trying to take over the facility. It becomes clear that they belong to the Russian military and have come to seize the factory because it is a source of energy. Björn refuses to surrender and begins attacking them one by one. One of them removes his mask, and Björn recognizes him as the same person he suspected of being a Russian spy, confirming his fears all along. After some time, Alex, Anna, and her grandmother arrive at the factory where Björn works, but they find the streets crowded with traffic. Suddenly, birds begin to fall from the sky, and they realize the situation is critical, so they decide to enter the factory for shelter. As they are entering, Alex is injured and Anna quickly takes him inside the factory. When Björn learns that his son Alex is hurt, he feels deep sadness and takes Alex and Anna to a private room to treat him. At this point, Anna decides to leave Alex with Björn for a while so he can treat him, and she goes off to search for her daughter, who is with one of her friends. However, Björn refuses to let her go alone and decides to help her. Despite this, Anna ties him up to keep him with his son and leaves to look for her daughter. After a while, Alex regains consciousness and is in good condition, but he is surprised to see his father in front of him. However, he doesn't care and asks about Anna, and Björn tells him that she went to get her daughter. Alex decides to go out and search for Anna, leaving his father tied up. During his search, he finds Anna returning to the factory with her daughter. She tells him that she went to Kim's military base, her husband, and discovered that everyone there had died, including Kim, which makes Anna very sad. However, Alex feels happy because this might give him a chance to get closer to Anna. Of course, Kim is not dead, but Anna does not know that. Alex and Anna then return to the factory, where they all listen to Eva's announcement over the radio, revealing that the rain causes a memory loss. At the same time, they see Russian planes flying over the factory, which scares everyone and makes them decide to flee immediately. While Alex is planning to escape, he remembers his father and feels pity for him, so he frees him so they can escape together. In the meantime, a phone call comes to the factory from a military officer who turns out to be Kim, speaking to Alex. He asks him to go to the church with everyone, while he brings in military forces to protect them. Kim asks about his wife and daughter, and Alex realizes that Kim is still alive, which stirs conflicting emotions in him. Quickly, Alex cuts the call before Kim learns anything about his wife and daughter. After freeing his father, Alex, during their escape, remembers all the things his father did to him in the past, which makes him angry. He starts beating his father violently and leaves him in the factory. Meanwhile, Kim and Eva set out with a military force toward the city to rescue Anna and anyone they can save. However, they are ambushed by Russian soldiers, who open fire on them, leading to the deaths of Eva and all of Kim's men. Kim escapes in a vehicle, trying to reach his wife and daughter. As Alex exits the factory, he witnesses explosions everywhere and sees Russian soldiers shooting. He drives away in his car and jumps out just in time, colliding with a damaged aircraft, causing it to explode, leading the soldiers to believe he has died. After surviving, Alex heads to his father's storage room to take the keys to another car so he can escape with Anna and her daughter. But a Russian helicopter appears and starts firing at him. Björn shows up in his old military aircraft, as he had served in the army, and starts maneuvering with the Russian helicopter, successfully shooting it down. However, Björn's plane crashes into the storage room, and Alex feels deep sadness over the loss of his father, who sacrificed himself to save him. After that, Alex goes to the church, where he finds Anna and all the townspeople. He feels guilty for wanting to take Anna away from her husband and family, so he tells her that Kim is still alive and is on his way to rescue her. Alex then goes to the piano in the church and starts playing the piece of music he had composed earlier for Anna. At that moment, the rain begins to fall on him, but he doesn't seek shelter. Instead, he remembers Anna and all their moments together until he forgets everything about her. The same happens to Anna as Kim arrives to take her away. In the end, Alex succeeds in forgetting Anna, just as he had wished, allowing him to move on with his life. But what happens to the town afterward remains a mystery, and it is likely that Russia has fully occupied the country.
If you want interesting movie recaps, like, share, and subscribe to follow us for more movie recaps.